If you want to get into makeup or you're confused as to what product to buy or the prices are a bit scary to you, this video is for you. In this video, I'll be showing you all the products you need for your beginner's makeup kits, how to apply them, and how to achieve this flawless look, all on a budget. Keep watching. First and most important is your skin prep. If you put makeup on a skin that is not properly moisturized, whether you use the best products, the most expensive products, you are going to have a very bad result. So you want to start by moisturizing your face. I use the CeraVe moisturizer, and also don't forget your sunscreen. I use the Nivea sunscreen. You can use any sunscreen of your choice that does not leave a white cast, or you can get a moisturizer that has SPF in it. I think CeraVe has one. I would put it here. So I have already done that off camera. Once you've moisturized your face, you can start your makeup. I'll start with a primer. I would say this step is optional, because if you've properly moisturized your face and you don't necessarily have skin problems or things you'd like to cover on your skin, then especially for a beginner, you can skip this part, and when you start getting into makeup, you can get a primer. But for today, we are going to be using a primer. What does a primer do? A primer helps to hold the makeup. It gives it a good base to sit on, just like when you do your nails and they apply the primer first. It's kind of very similar. For today, I'll be using the Revolution Hydrate and Hold Primer. For most base makeup products, it is classified based on your skin type. For a primer, if you have oily skin, it is better to use a matte primer, like I think the e.l.f. has a matte primer. And if you have more of a dry or a combination skin, it's better to use a hydrating primer just like this one, or you could use the e.l.f. Hydro Grip. I personally have a combination skin, so I would be using a hydrating primer. After my primer, the next thing I like to do is my brows, and I would advise for beginners makeup is preferable to do your brows before your base. In case you make any error, you can use your foundation to clean it up. So we'll start with our brows. For your brows, all you need is a spoolie and a brown eye pencil. This is not a detailed video on how to draw your brows, because I think that needs like a separate video. If you would like to see that video, let me know in the comment section below, but I'll just quickly draw my brows. If you are like a bit more darker skinned and you would want your brows to show more, you can use a deep brown or black eye pencil, but for me, I use a brown eye pencil. So you just need any brown eye pencil of your choice and a spoolie. After drawing my brows, I'll carve it out with a concealer. It is preferable to get a concealer that is 2 shades lighter than your foundation. I'll be using the LA Girl Pro Concealer. This is a budget-friendly concealer. You can also use the L'Oreal Infallible Concealer. These are the 2 concealers that I would recommend, because these are the 2 that I have tried and are budget-friendly. Get a bit of this behind my hand and use an angle brush, a small angle brush. That's what you use for your brows. I'll talk about the foundation when it's time to apply foundation. For now, I'll just use the foundation to carve the top of my brows. And I'm doing this because the foundation is more of my skin tone. So this is a mistake I see a lot of people do. When you use the concealer to carve on top of your brows, that's when you get like that ashy look from your brows. But when you use your foundation, it just naturally blends to the rest of the makeup, because the upper part is like it's going to be the darker part of your face when all of the makeup is done. Now I use a big fluffy brush to blend the concealer in. For the brushes to use and for what to use them for, that would have to be a separate video, because for it to be a detailed video, I would have to make a separate video on that. But for now, just take note of the brushes I would be using, and if you are looking to buy now, take note of them and buy something similar. But maybe the next video or the next 2 videos, I would be making a video that's dedicated to tools that you need in your beginner makeup kit. Now that we are done with our brows, we would go on to do our face. Let me pull my hair back a bit. So now the next product is our foundation. I'll be using the L'Oreal Infallible foundation. For foundation, it is important to buy a foundation that matches your skin shade and also matches your skin type. So when we say your skin type, I mean the oily, the combination, and the dry. So I think from the trend of this video, you can see that before you buy your makeup products, it is important to know the skin type that you have. So if you have dry skin, I would not recommend this foundation because it is a matte foundation. So if you have dry skin, stay away from anything matte. I would recommend the Maybelline Dewy Smooth Foundation. And if you have more oily to combinations, I would recommend the Maybelline Fit Me Matte Poreless Foundation or this L'Oreal Infallible foundation. These are all budget friendly. I think I got this. The price tag is even still on it, 135 dirhams. This is my foundation. I just put a little on my hand. A little goes a long way. And I'll just apply it on my face. Then I'll blend with my beauty blender. So for the foundation, you want the foundation to match your skin tone and your undertone. I'll do a more detailed video talking about how to find your foundation and concealer match for your shade and your undertone, because it is very important. Sometimes it might look like your shade, but the undertone might be different and it will give a different look on your skin. I went ahead to get a brush, a foundation brush, because I prefer blending with my foundation brush, but you can use the beauty blender if that works better for you. But I would recommend going in with the foundation brush first, and when you've applied it all over your face and you want to pick off the excess product, then you use a beauty blender. Now that that is all blended, I would go in with my concealer. The same concealer that I used for my brows, the LA Girl Pro Concealer. For your concealer, you'd apply it to where you have dark circles or dark marks, also your T-zone area. So that is here, underneath your eyes, your T-zone area, which is your forehead, your nose, your chin. Some people also apply just above their lip because of the hyperpigmentation, but that is optional. For today, I would not be doing that. Now that I've applied it on my face, I would go ahead to blend it with the tip of my beauty blender. So you go very precisely, you go from the end of the concealer and you blend. You don't just go in and dab in very harshly, or else you'll pick up all of the products that you have applied. For the tip of your nose, you can blend it with a small brush, or you can also go in with your beauty blender. Use the very tip and go in gently. Bring it to your forehead and blend on your forehead. Now you see our face has no dimension because of all of the products that we have applied. Very light products. Now this is the part we call contouring. So for contouring, typically you would use a contour. It can come in form of a stick, it can come in form of a liquid product, or it can come in form of a powder. But I would say for beginners, I would not advise you use a contour just yet. I'll say you start with a bronzer. A bronzer gives more of a warm, sun-kissed look, while the contour specifically sculpts and give you like the sharp chin and sharp jawline. So just to bring back dimension, as a beginner, I would say you get a bronzer palette that has different shades, so you have a variety to pick from, and get a powder product because it is easier to work with. I'm using the one from Zikel Cosmetic. This is a Nigerian brand. For a bronzer, you just need like a fluffy brush. You would be applying it on where your natural shadows are on your face, which is temple of your head, your jawline, and your underneath your chin. You go 2 shades darker than your foundation color. Just like for your concealer, you go 2 shades lighter. For your contour or bronzer, you go 2 shades darker. So I'll be using this. You just go in lightly, dust off the excess, and you go here. Like I said, on the temple of your head as well. So you also apply it on your nose, just as you would do for a contour. And blend it in. Now you see the dimension has been brought back to the face. You can also go ahead and do on your jawline if you wish. It's optional. Now we set the concealer with a setting powder, because the concealer is a liquid product, and while you go around doing your day-to-day activity, it would move. So we need a powder to keep it in place. I'll be using the Sasha Bottas, I think that's how it's pronounced, setting powder. I like to go with a setting powder that matches my skin shade so that it doesn't leave a white cast, but some people like to go for a brighter setting powder, so it really depends on you. I heard the Maybelline compact powder is also a good one. I haven't tried it, but you can give it a try and let me know if it was good as well. Just take a bit of it on your beauty blender, the side you used to apply your concealer. You dab off the excess product on your hand and you go in just as you did with your concealer. We use the setting powder to set everywhere that we applied concealer. So that would be underneath our eyes, on our eyelid where we applied the concealer whilst we're doing our brows, your T-zone. Now that we are done setting our face, the next product we'll be needing is our blush. For the blush, you want to find one that suits your color the most. You can have red, pink, lilac. There are different colors you can choose from. But for a beginner and a brown or dark skin girl, I would say you should go for something that lean more towards a warm undertone, which is like a red, a pink, that around that range of color. And I would advise you go for a powder blush, because it is easier to work with. Powder products generally are easier to work with. So when you are going for like the bronzer, the blush that have options of cream and liquid products, I would say go with the powder products if you are just starting out your makeup kits. So for the powder blushes that I can recommend, I can't remember the name of the one that I'm currently using, but I don't know if the brand really matters. You just want one that is really pigmented. You can go in with the same brush, the same fluffy brush you used for your bronzer, and you take a generous amount, dab it behind your hand, and you apply. You want to apply it just above where you applied your bronzer, which is kind of on your cheeks. Now that we are done applying our blush, I am of the opinion that for a beginner, you do not need an eyeshadow palette. It is nice to have one, and it is important because you have a variety of colors to pick from. However, if you have your bronzer and your blush, I feel like you can make that work. So I'll show you how. So we take the bronzer we used previously. You get a fluffy brush and you apply it on your eyes. You just go all around. Already that makes a difference. And then you can go in with your blush and apply it more on the crease of your eyes, like this, just to brighten it up a bit. And you see, it's all done. Of course, if you do have the means, you can get an eyeshadow palette, or because this is a video that gives the option of those that are on a budget. So if you're on a budget, this works just fine. You don't need to have another product for your eyes. The next step would be your eyeliner, but also eyeliner is very optional. And for a beginner, I would advise you don't use the liquid eyeliner. If you use the liquid eyeliner, I would say get the ones that are like this. So it's not the ones that you dip it in the liquid because they are easier to manipulate. I would say use the gel and you apply it with a brush. But for me today, I'll be using the liquid eyeliner. We are done with our eyes. Now we'll move to our lips. For your lip, you need a brown lip liner. It goes for most of the lip looks you'll be trying to achieve. So the same eye pencil that we use for our brows, we're going to use it for our lip as well. We are on a budget, girls. I'll say for starters, just get a nude lipstick that matches your own lip. This is the Fit Me. I'll say go for a liquid lipstick because it lasts longer. However, you can do whatever feels right to you when it comes to lipstick. You can try out a lot of things. For a beginner, another good thing I would say is get a lip palette. I do not have one, but I would try to get one because it has a variety of options. My only problem with the lip palette is the lips, the ones I've used from other people, the lipstick doesn't really stay long compared to a liquid lipstick. But the problem with a liquid lipstick, you have to get individual for each color that you would want to use. As you can tell, the theme for today is like pink, so I would be going in with a nude and a pink lipstick. You clean your lip to take off the excess products from all of the products you have used. Now what is left is our highlighter. I would say get one that's a bit closer to your skin tone. So like this is kind of brown. There are some that are a bit like whitish. I don't like those on dark or brown skin. So you just go in with an angled fluffy brush. You put it just on your nose as well. And you put it on the corners of your eye here. To set all of this in place, because these are powder and cream products, and once you start sweating they would start to move around, and we do not want that. And also to remove like the powdery look, we use a setting spray. I use the Kiss Beauty setting spray or the Maybelline Lasting Fix spray. So I use this when I'm doing like an everyday makeup look and I'll not be doing a lot that day. And I use this when I would be moving a lot, dancing, moving around, because this holds the makeup longer than this one from what I have realized. And then we'll let it sit on the skin. I just blow it off for it to dry faster. At this point, you go in with your regular face powder. This is the advantage of having a palette. You can have your regular face powder in your palette. For me, it's this one. And you go in and touch up everywhere you want to touch up before the setting spray completely dries off. Last but definitely not least is our mascara. So we use our mascara for our lashes. You can use false lashes at this point, but I'm not really a fan of false lashes, except I have them installed. I don't like fixing lashes. So if you like to fix lashes, then you fix your lashes at this point. For me, I'll use a mascara. Any mascara works. I always say I'm not really specific about brands when it comes to mascara. You don't need to spend a lot of money on mascara. If you like the makeup the way it looks, then you don't have to go in with a clear lip gloss. But for me, I don't really like a matte lip. I like a glossy lip. So I'll go in with a clear lip gloss and just... this makeup eats. So guys, this is the finished look. Let me know if you loved it. Let me know if you learned any new tips or tricks from this video and what products you would be buying. Let me know what other makeup related video you would like to see on this channel. Remember, you don't have to break the bank to have a makeup routine. You can do your makeup on a budget just like I did and still achieve the flawless look. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and send this video to someone that you think might need this video. Thank you for watching and see you on the next one. Bye.